Morning. Good morning to you, T-Radar. Good morning.
That is a great track. It's timeless. It's a classic.
Oh, isn't it?
Have you seen the video?
Brooding.
You would have seen the video.
I think I have. Yes.
Oh, look, if you haven't seen the video, I strongly recommend people go on YouTube today and have a look at it. I think it was actually banned. Don't think they played it on TV. A bit gruesome.
Yeah, well, and probably ahead of its time in many ways.
I would say it was very ahead of its time. Because what would have been the music shows back then? I guess, you were never going to get that on Ready to Roll.
No, because what are we talking about? The early 80s?
I guess late 70s, early 80s. I'm not sure. Certainly,
So there would have been radio with pictures.
I guess so. I'm sure radio with pictures probably would have played it, I imagine, if they could possibly have done so. But yes, graphic sort of footage of freezing works action.
That's right.
Going through the kill chain.
Yeah.
And, yeah. What an iconic song.
And, so and AFCO was a freezing works company.
Allied Farmers Freezing Cooperative.
Yeah.
Yes.
There you go.
Yes.
Bit of history.
AFCO. Still around, I think. Yeah, so essentially, a lot of people out there at that time, of course, actually were meat packers and they did pack meat. And then, of course, the changes came in the 80s. A lot of freezing works closed down. Towns like Patia,
yeah.
And various others around the place, all of their industry essentially gone overnight. And what's another town? One down there in the bottom of the South Island, starting with M. Mataura. There's a town that doesn't, all its shops are boarded up and the main street's basically empty. It's freezing works. I think it still operates, but on a very small sort of level. So huge, literally an evisceration of the workforce of New Zealand.
Wow. There you go. The history of freezing works according to T-Radar.
Exactly, and you can think about that while you watch the wonderful video.
Yeah, I'd like to actually see or hear a New Zealand artist come up with a track for Fonterra.
Oh.
See what they come up with.
Yeah, we are cow milkers. We milk cows. It's sort of a bit too much of a.
I think it would just have really. A whole lot of people suckling on the teat, It would be
well, we all, as a country, we do suckle on the teat of the dairy industry. I'm a sort of from a dairy farming background, can understand sort of all of that. There was a wonderful story the other day, actually, in the paper of a young child, I think in Indonesia or somewhere, his father allowed him to suckle on the teat of a cow. Nothing like warm milk, if you like warm milk, straight from the source. You don't need to put your mouth on the nipple of the cow.
Oh, right.
You can just sort of squeeze it into your mouth, and hilarity ensues. An enormous amount of milk produced by cows every day, and always try to figure out how that works. Bit of grass, bit of water, milk comes out. They, robots and machines can do a lot of things these days, but they can't make milk.
What's that famous image of? I can't remember what sort of animal is it, and it's feeding like a bunch of children. It's okay. That's a classic, like statue or something, or.
Oh, the wolf.
The wolf. It's
Romulus and Remus.
That's right.
Greek, Roman, I think.
Always slightly disturbed by that.
Always odd, but milk is milk, and humans, I think we're the only adult creature that continues to drink milk.
Bit unnatural.
The preserve of the young.
Well, bit unnatural, when it's not mother's milk.
I suppose so, but look at all the wonderful benefits of milk. You get your butter, you get your cheese. Oh, cheese.
Oh, cheese. Yeah. Can't give up my cheese.
You gave up the cheese?
No, I can't give up the cheese.
No,
I've given up milk, though.
What?
As the basic product.
What, but you don't have it in your coffee?
Nope.
Oh.
Rice milk.
Oh, no milk. What about a smoothie?
No.
Thick shake?
Nope.
No thick shakes?
Nope. Nothing on my cereal either. Well, I mean, rice milk, but not...
Rice milk?
Not the cow milk.
What's rice milk?
Well,
yeah, exactly. How do you get rice milk? Do you squash rice up and extract the thin gruelish fluid that is what happens when you put it in a press?
Yeah. Well, I think
rice milk.
You just run water through rice, and it would come out milky. When you run rice under the water, it comes out.
What happens is it comes out oddly discoloured. And with a flavour.
That's what I'm into.
All right.
That's what I like.
Each to their own.
Yeah.
Next you'll be saying you're not going to eat sausages anymore.
I don't know. No, I wouldn't go that far.
Good. Otherwise we'd have to probably, talk strongly to the citizenship about whether or not you should remain a New Zealander.
You know, I think we're conveniently avoiding the elephant in the room.
We are. Speaking of food, look, every so often something comes along that proves that people are very funny, and often it's in the time of a great tragedy, a time of great mourning, and of course, most of us have been very upset in the events of the last day or so with the supposed disappearance of Happy Feet.
Ah. Now we did preview this a couple of weeks ago. We did. I guess we gifted the nation the possibility of this happening very, very soon. We
did, and we can only assume that it hasn't happened, that simply the transmitter has fallen off, sunk into the depths of the earth. But there's been some very funny things. I think, was it David Slack or someone like that tweeted, "It's a krill world."
Yes.
What else was
he also said only feet.
Only feet, that's right. Happy Meal is a good one that's going around. There's people wagering between whether or not it was an orca or a leopard seal. All of these things, but it looks as if nature has taken its toll. There's actually a tweet account out there that purports to be Don Brash, and he tweeted that he had actually gone down and he'd consumed Happy Feet in order to I guess recoup some of the money the taxpayer had spent on feeding him up.
Put it to good use. Yeah.
Yes, a lot of people. I think I saw a news clip about it or something where people were saying, "Oh, it seems a little bit of a waste of money to sort of feed him up and then send him back simply to be eaten." But you had to try, Wammo. You had to try.
But we just made him lazy, didn't we? Lazy and fat.
Yeah, I mean, he came here for a reason.
Yeah.
And we sent him back.
Yeah.
What if he was trying to warn us?
Well, I still think, exactly. He was a penguin emissary.
Exactly, saying, look, things are going awry down in the pole, and you need to help us.
Mm.
And we shoved fish down his throat and took him back and threw him into a vast and uninhabited part of the ocean.
Yeah. I mean, as soon as he arrived here, he saw how hopeless the situation was, and that's why he was eating sand.
Yes, poor guy. Anyway, it looks like, regardless of whether or not he's got it, it's not as if we're ever going to know.
No.
Because, he could be back with all the other penguins, and it's not like you can look at him and go, that's him.
Yeah. Do you think they look at us?
Uniformity.
They look at us and think, oh, they all look the same.
Probably, I guess, yeah. Although we do have a bit of variation, a bit of hair colour change here and there. Penguins,
True.
Pretty much, I don't know if they have any distinguishing sort of marks, or I can't imagine. There is a lot of them.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, a sad day in New Zealand's history, right up there with the day that Shrek died. And,
yeah. But what are the children being told? Because the children have been going to the website, been looking, because some of them might have donated their pocket money to buy them fish.
It's a good lesson for them.
It is, isn't it?
Life is short and cruel, especially in the Southern Ocean.
Yeah, that's a life lesson right there. Yeah.
And you're not exactly at the top of the food chain.
I suppose it's an extra threat that parents can put into the arsenal. We'll throw you down into the Southern Ocean if you don't shut up.
Yes, I suppose that's true, actually.
Mm.
Yes, I'm actually going down there next year. I want to keep an eye out for him. Take my binoculars and a Happy Feet identification chart.
Some floating little yellow feet.
Imagine if the transmitter, I don't think they put it on his leg or something like that, if the transmitter was still transmitting with stationary, and they went down, to find it, and there it was, just bobbing on a little sort of foot.
Yeah.
A little happy foot just by itself. I wonder which way if the 2 feet may have floated different ways, because that happened with shoes. Remember when there was a big load of sneakers? They fell off a container ship, and the left ones went one way and across to America, and the right ones went the other way, I think, over to Ireland. And then what happened was a wonderful sort of community spirit through the internet, where people said, "Look, I've got a right hand size 8, and I'm after a left hand size 10. Can you trade?" And people did.
Oh, what a good story! Yeah,
a lovely story, a nice story to finish on, rather than the doom and the gloom of a week in which the news is dominated by World Cup transport woes and the remembrance of 9/11.
Indeed. Thank you very much, T. Radar.
Many of those. We'll speak again next week.
Indeed. See ya.
Happy times.
22 minutes past.